Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and welcome to another video on my channel. So this last weekend I had an awesome opportunity to go and photograph the World Rallycross in Cape Town, South Africa, my home city. Now, as if you've seen any of my videos, you would know I am a passionate / avid motorsports enthusiast. I think that's the correct word. I've been going to motorsports events for 152 years, since I was 12. I'm joking, I've been going for about 25-30 years. Been photographing motorsports as I guess you could say a bystander from the stands for the last couple of years. Had the opportunity to photograph the FIA Formula E as well in Cape Town, and kind of just been taking it from there. But the legends over at FujiFilm South Africa once again have sent me some gear to play around with for the weekend. I have my FujiFilm XH2s, and I have, you know, my 50-140 and my 16-80, but they decided to send me another FujiFilm XH2s body for the weekend, as well as the mammoth, the monstrosity that is the 150 to 600 mil, which is basically 912 mils, as well as the cute little 33 mil f1.4, which is basically a nifty 50. And oh, before I forget, this really cool Dalkin cards CF card. This thing reads at like, I think 1250 megabytes per second, so that was super cool. No buffering issues. And long story short, I kind of pitched an idea to them with a video title called In Pursuit of Speed. And the plan for the video was I wanted to go out, get another videographer to come and photograph me on the journey of kind of getting trackside with all this cool gear and finding out just how easy it is to shoot motorsport and the various styles of motorsport photography with this equipment. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a videographer out, so Saturday I was on my own, Friday I was on my own, Saturday I was on my own. I tried to do a little bit of video, but it was flipping windy. I think we were having gusts of about 70-80 k's an hour, and that mixed with, you know, obviously all the dirt from the gravel and all that kind of stuff kind of just put me off. So I just spent the day shooting. Sunday I had a friend, Riaz, come and shoot. RZ Photo came to shoot with me, and we just did one really short little 3-minute clip where basically we had just got there, we had a cool view of a jump which was quite far away, and then we had a little right and left hander that was quite close. So I kind of went through a sequence where I decided to shoot, you know, 600 mil from them far away at like 400th of a second or whatever, and then quickly change settings as they come into the right, left little kink. And that was cool. I'll put that over here. Usually when you're shooting with something like a 600 mil, you want to be shooting at about 1,000th of a second. I'm not going to do that. I will complain later if the shots aren't sharp, but that's fine. Let's see if we can get this shot. Here we go. Oh, and I'm shooting in a 20 frames per second burst electronic shutter. Quickly change, shutter speed down, and we get him coming through. And just like that, I've gone from photographing him max range coming over the jump to coming through the little inside section. And just an example of that, I don't know how much you're going to see on the screen. Okay, so to have a quick look over here, you'll see we managed to photograph him coming all the way through the little left hand after the right hand kink. Even got him lifting tires over there, which is always great success. And then shooting 20 frames per second, obviously I have a lot of good fun, and I have him coming over the jump as well. Assuming that I did put that there, I may have put a shortened version of that. I think it was like 3 minutes. But what I intended on doing with that short little clip was to showcase on the spot, like in the moment, how easy it is to go from setting up for a long shot, quickly changing settings, you know, with your quickly changing like your f-stop on the wheel of this lens, as well as at the same time changing your shutter speed on body, and then shooting them as they came through a couple of seconds later through a little left-hander, when I actually managed to showcase them lifting a tire and everything, and that was super cool. But I need to say that that was not 100% made possible, but it was made a lot easier with the gear that I was using. And I figured I wanted to do a little kind of chat about the gear that I used, and just how good I find FujiFilm for motorsport photography. Now, a lot has been said about this body and this lens for wildlife, for birding, and all those kind of things. I don't see any birds close enough to take a photograph now, but if I see any birds, I may snap a shot during the video. And a lot's been said about how good of a lens, a body and lens pairing this is for other modes of sport, but I wanted to see how good the kind of ridiculous pairing would be for cars, for panning as well as for, you know, freeze frame, like real high shutter speed stuff, real gritty stuff. And in order to do that, I needed to play around with my autofocus settings. So I had shot with my XH2s a few times before, and I kind of wasn't getting the results that I wanted. I wasn't getting, you know, 70-80% in focus. I was kind of getting 40-50% of my shots in focus. So what I figured, I kind of did a little bit of research and kind of did a bit of soul searching and looking around, and spoke to Hein, FujiFilm South Africa, and I was saying, if I'm shooting in like a, whatchamacallit mode, in a subject detection mode. So for example, I was shooting in subject detection for automobile. But the mistake that I was making is with my subject detection mode, I was still shooting in a single point or like a zone mode. I wasn't using a wide tracking mode. And what I found was happening is when I was shooting with a little zone in the middle of the screen, basically in my mind, it seems as though the AI detection is kind of mostly working in that zone, or it's more accurate in that zone, as opposed to, you know, when I changed my settings over the weekend to wide tracking mode. And in the wide tracking, the second a car kind of peeked its face onto, or peeked its nose onto the screen, my camera was just like, oh hey, what's up, got you, and it started tracking really quickly. I did have a few weird issues where, sorry, I see some birds. Like kind of the only time I really struggled with it is when the cars were white, and I was trying to photograph a white car in bright sunlight on the Sunday. Oh, the birds are gone. So what I found with that, I don't know if it's just because it was kind of blowing out, overexposing, but, oh, hello, hold on a second. Little birdie num-nums just showed up. I figured to take a few shots of that quick. So yeah, so when I was shooting with the white cars, because obviously I had been exposed for, you know, I didn't really care about the sky as much as I would have, so I was trying to get a little bit more low light punch and stuff like that. So I was quite neutrally exposed. And then when the white cars came past, especially if they didn't have like logos and stuff, the camera was a little bit slow to pick it up. Sometimes the AI detect actually didn't pick it up at all. And that was more specifically when I was doing panning shots at about a 50th, maybe 1/60th of a second. I had less issues when I went up to about 100th of a second, which 100, 1/25th or whatever could have actually affected the exposure. So, but as soon as I threw the camera into the wide tracking mode and the entire sensor was working with that AI subject detect, I started to get 70-80% of my shots in focus. In closing, what I enjoyed the most about using the fast CF Express card and the FujiFilm XH2s and the 33mm as well as the 150-600mm lens, I found that the lenses were super fast, so I barely struggled to get focus or to go from no focus to in focus. I wasn't using any pre-focus settings. My panning, pretty much most of the shots that I missed focus were down to me. I'm still not, where are you? I'm still not 100% used to shooting with the mirrorless cameras, even with the no blackout on the viewfinder. I'm still not 100% used to it. So I find that sometimes with my panning, I'm just a little bit slow or I'm a little bit too fast. So that's something I need to work on. What else was I going to say? Oh, also settings. Oh, that's bird poo. What's up? Settings wise, when I went down to 20 frames per second on the electronic shutter, I found that I had a way better hit rate, success rate, as well as the cars weren't exactly going fast enough to shoot 40 frames a second. But I mean, when you're rifling off 20 frames per second, you're still shooting a whole lot of shots of the same cars coming past. So my biggest issue, realistically, over the entire 3 days that I shot was I shot way too much. I think I shot like 4,500 photographs on one camera. I have two. On one camera in the morning session on Friday, which was just warm up and practice and stuff like that. So once again, it's a problem on my side. It's more of a discipline issue. But I think if I was to give a score, a rating of the gear that I used to shoot the Motorsport this weekend, I would say body 8.5, maybe 9 out of 10. The only thing I didn't like is the placement of my fingers. I think if I had a battery grip on the XH2s, it would be a bit better. Okay, what was I saying? Body 8.5, 9 out of 10. 150 to 600. Even in the wind, I didn't have a lens hood or anything. It was a lot easier to manage. But even without a lot of wind, when I'm shooting at 600 mils, because I was trying to shoot low shutter speeds, I was getting a little bit of softer focus. The lens and the body still did really well to kind of off-put my little bit of shakiness. So 150 to 600 for Motorsport. At a close track, 7 out of 10. If you've got a little bit more of a distance between you and your subject, 8.5, 9 out of 10. The 33mm, I would give it, oh man, what kind of bird is this? It looks like a yellowy green sparrow. Super strange. The 33mm, I was using that mostly for when I was shooting in pits, and that I found did exactly what I wanted it to do. At 1.4, it's battery, beautiful shots. 9.5 out of 10. I'm not biased. I am obviously a Fuji user, so I'm a little bit biased. FujiFilm didn't pay me to do this. They also aren't regulating what I'm saying. The Dalkin Black CF Express card, absolutely no issues as well. It's not going to focus. This thing is flipping fast. I have a pretty fast card in my XH2s anyway, and that's also quick, and this one kind of like I didn't buffer at all. Actually, you know what? Let's do a quick test. I'm coming around to you. Hope there's no snakes here today. Much of it through the tree here. I mean, look here. That's 40 frames per second burst. I don't know, can you see this? Can you see the screen? Zero buffering. All the way through, absolutely no buffering. And that's at a 40 frames per second burst, just to show 40 frames per second. Like, the Dalkin card is pretty insane. This is actually kind of a nice shot of this little bird thing here. I don't even know what type of bird it is. I should probably start learning those things, seeing as I do have a bit of an interest in birds. But I don't know, I'm skew, it's fine. I'll stand at an angle. FujiFilm XH2s plus the 16 to 80 plus the 50 to 140 plus the 33mm or the 150 to 600 all pass my vibe check for motorsport photography, as well as all the other things. Once again, thank you Fuji for sending the gear. And thank you for letting me do one of my style of videos again. And I'll see you guys in the next one.